Hi, everyone, and welcome to Toy Talk Sunday. So, today I'm going to be talking about Mego. And Mego is certainly my favorite toy company from the 70s who is now reborn into this generation or this time frame. And I've got some vintage Megos, and I've got some of the 50th anniversary world's greatest superhero figures to show you. So, I think I'll start with the vintage. So here's and I've got more than this, but the five that I want to show you is this Batman. And, I don't know if any of this is replacement. I'm not the most knowledgeable about Mego, I'll say that up front. But I've had these for quite a long time. These are not my original 70s ones because I don't know what happened to those over the years when we moved. Things got given away, and unfortunately. So I replaced these years later. But yeah, this is the Batman that I have. He looks pretty good actually. Now, I don't know if this is the Type 1 or Type 2 body. If somebody can tell me, that would be great. And if you think, I mean, obviously, I have a feeling that sticker is a replacement, but other than that, I don't know if any of this is a replacement. Um, I like the belt, and I display these more than anything because I'm always afraid they're going to break. So anyway, that's the Batman. We'll go right over to Robin. Now, for some reason, I thought Robin had some kind of tights, but maybe not because the new one doesn't have it either. But anyway, here's Robin. His definitely not a replacement cape because this one is kind of frayed and kind of almost a little brittle. I wouldn't be surprised if these are replacement gloves, just like Batman's. In fact, I may have bought some from another site at one time and replaced some of these. I don't remember. It's just been too long. He does have his shoes, just like Batman had his boots. And again, these are not the removable cowl ones. These are just the regular ones. So I don't know like what time period exactly they were from, earlier, later. But it looks like 73 was when a lot of these came out, according to the 50th anniversary. Now, the Superman I have is missing his S, so I wouldn't mind getting a replacement. I'm trying to get these dusted as I go. I dust them every so often, but boy, this dust can collect fast. I really should get some plastic domes to put these in, but I don't have any. I've got too many other toys to do that with, I guess. Yeah, so Superman looks good in this blue outfit, which of course is what his looked like, but he's missing his S, as I said. He's got his red cape, same kind of, almost like I don't know what kind of material that is, like vinyl or something, or yeah, nylon, I'm not sure. But, these do come off, so then he looks kind of plain, doesn't he? And of course, these are the ones that have snaps in the back, the metal snaps, which you don't see anymore, even on most toys today. You'd rarely have, I'd be shocked if you saw a metal snap on something like this today. Certainly not on the replacement ones, or sorry, anniversary ones. So yeah, I mean, these were, of course, for those of you who might not know, these were sold for $3, $4 back in the 70s, and someone more knowledgeable than me about this can enlighten us. But I believe that the superheroes went for several years or multiple years, maybe about 5 years. And of course, there were multiple different ones, and they got into the Marvel universe as they had the license for Marvel back then, which they don't currently. We all hope they get it at some point so they can do some more Marvel ones, which I have a few up there of Marvel, but not many. Mostly, I'm more into DC, to be honest, so I'm a big fan of the DC ones. Also, Aquaman, who I never think gets enough respect, and of course he's missing his little A, but I do think again these are replacement gloves, and he looks pretty good for his old. All these are 50, almost 50 years old, so they're doing pretty well to be in this kind of condition. I don't know. What do you all think about, like, if I was to sell these, what condition would you call this for these different figures? And which ones are the most sought after? If you know, let me know in the comments, please. So yeah, this is Aquaman. Here's a closer look at his face. Um, got a snap at the bottom too, and of course this little, it's not really a belt, but a cincher here in the middle. And then one that they haven't done yet, but it's in, it's coming up, is Green Arrow. And of course, I have the Green Arrow. I guess I shouldn't say, of course, from the 70s. Here's his hat, by the way. It doesn't love to stay on, but I've also got this bow. I don't know if I have any arrows. I'm sure there must have been arrows if there's a bow, so which would make sense for Green Arrow. And I'm not going to try to put it on because I might break something. I mean, obviously he's got arrows in here, but I meant any loose ones. Maybe they didn't have loose ones. I don't remember, but maybe this is it. Obviously that's a lot of arrows. But I've got some things since then that have some loose arrows, I believe, for other Green Arrow figures. I'm not swearing to that, but anyway, this and Aquaman were two of my favorites. I just thought this was a really interesting figure, well done. His arm is a little floppy, you know. Sometimes these were repaired. I don't think I repaired any of these, but they could have been repaired over the years. I think a lot of times the boots are original, but I'm not sure if there's an easy way to tell. I'm not seeing anything on the bottom here. I don't know if there should be. But, he's got this, I was going to say belt, but again, it's not really a belt. It's what's keeping the arrows somewhat on his body. So yeah, it's probably, when you find these out somewhere, it's probably hard to find all these pieces that can come loose, especially that hat. But yeah, that's him with the hat, and I'm sure if I really tried, he could hold this. This part does go in his hand, but it doesn't stay there. But I just don't want to force it. I'm just afraid with these older toys breaking something. So yeah, those are the vintage. And just one other I want to show you that's not vintage, and that's this Flash that came out a few years ago by the new Mego, or the newer Mego company. And obviously this one they had never done Flash, so this was the first one. And unfortunately, by the way, the red is some rubbing off in through the boots or onto the boots. So I don't know if they did replacements for that or not. I'll have to find out. But I thought it was a pretty good figure overall. Personally, I don't like when the eyes look like that, but that's the way they are. Now let's move on to the new ones that just came out in December, is when they first came out. And then it took me till January to get these. I'm just now getting to this video, though. So I'm going to try to go in the same order here. So Batman, and only one of these I've taken out, so I'm not going to be taking these new ones out at this time. I don't know if I will, but I just want to show you. So if we compare them for a minute. Okay, so obviously this isn't the exact one. Boy, his logo sure looks the same. I mean, there's a difference in the skin tone of his face, of course, which I like this one better. It looks more realistic. This one is, I don't know if that's changed over the years or if that's the color it was. And I can't say enough good things about the box art, which they put on here, and they show you which ones are available. Of course, they do have Green Arrow that's not yet available, but it's coming. I'm surprised they didn't put Green Lantern or somebody else on there that was currently available. But anyway, same kind of whole look here. I mean, it's so reminiscent. I mean, obviously it didn't have the 50th anniversary sticker, but other than that, it just so reminds me of that. I don't know. I mean, it's been so long since I've seen one of these boxes. I'm not sure. Now, Robin. So we've got Robin here, and let's get the other Robin back up here to compare. So I mean, pretty darn similar. And again, his glove fell off, so the gloves do not like to stay on. I don't know. Does anybody know, are the new ones stay on? Do they stay on better, I hope? By the way, his green on this one is obviously somewhat faded, so the green on here is much more easy to identify as green. It's a Kermit the Frog green. And I think they're pretty much the same on the side. I didn't compare them, but it looks the same. Yep. But of course, the back's different. Imagine that. And it's got the big Mego M and the DC Comic logo. Now, he's got and here, of course, you can see where his eyes are very, very visible. Whereas on this one, and I think these are removable cow ones, I believe, yeah, they're not. So they're just like little slits. And I heard somebody talking about why that was, but I don't remember right now. Personally, I would have liked something more like that. But that's just me. Now let's move on to Superman. So Superman, let's get my other Superman out. Obviously, again, the big S, not there. When I look at the faces of these two, it's pretty close, but again, I actually, in this case, the coloring on this one, I think, is a little, I like it a little better. I don't know why. The skin tone, I mean. And then, other than that, his jockey short type area, now that's a lot bigger for some reason. Not sure why. I just noticed that. And again, I like that better on this one. So I like the skin tone better on this one, the larger jockey short on this one, and then the cape, it's probably about the same. Obviously, I can't see it well in the box, and I could take these out, but I don't want to take the time right now. Maybe, yeah, and possibly rip something. So I'm not going to do that on these in this video. So okay, let's move on to Aquaman. Okay, Aquaman. Let me find out. Of course, he's on the bottom. Never get any respect, that Aquaman. Now, this one I've opened, so I am going to try to open it again. Yep, from the bottom I did, and just take him out. Obviously, he doesn't have boots. He's got... Okay, so that answers my question about the gloves. No, the new ones don't stay on much better, because one just fell off this Aquaman. Okay, let's compare them, especially now that this is out of the box. So you got the new one and the old vintage one, and boy, do they look a lot alike. And obviously his hair is faded over the years. The coloring is a little different, but that could just be from age. This one has, let's see, the A, and it's not on his chest. I probably was pointing it's here. And they both have the fins on the back. I can barely see them because they're folded in, but they're there. And I didn't mention this yet, but the new ones have Velcro. So let's look at that. And I'm fine with that. It doesn't really the glove fell off again on the other side. Okay, that's annoying. I just have to say, I'm not picking that one up this time. I'll get it after the video. So yeah, this is, what do you guys think? Do you think they should have done like this and just color, well, I know everybody likes the so-called oven mitts, but since these were reproductions for the anniversary, I guess they'll leave it as is, but I actually prefer those when we're not talking about 50th anniversary reproductions. And also, look, the A came right off on my hand, so you got to be careful with that, as I took it right off. Let me put it back on, because that thing is not going to want to stay. This is why I tend to keep this in the box. Let me give you a better look at his face, by the way. So yeah, I think they did an excellent job. I like, by the way, his box is like a purple, so they've got a different color for each one, and it complements the colors of the figure. Okay, I got to put both gloves back on. They both fell off, so okay, let's get that. The A fell off too. You got to be real careful with that. Boy, I just can't believe how easily that comes off. I wish they had done it like this, where it's on there. You don't have to worry about it coming off. I don't know. I know it's for the anniversary, but still. Okay, and then moving on to Shazam, who I didn't have, obviously, in this group. And I don't remember if I had this one. I don't think I had this one. I'm not positive. Because, I honestly wasn't that familiar with Shazam as a figure, or as a character, I mean. But I did get the Shazam. And then the newer Flash. Now this is Flash. And these have, the other reason I don't want to take these out right now is they do have things around them holding them in. So I'd have to cut them too. This Flash, compared to this one, Um, Similar, but definitely a difference. So now you can actually see his eyes. So I definitely like this one better. I like the fact that the yellow band at his waist and on his sleeves is more of a lightning bolt effect versus this one where it's like, I don't know what, a bow in the front. It kind of looks like a bow. So yeah, this one just looks better in that regard. I like his ear, lightning bolt ear type things. So I'm so glad they did that one. And then last but not least today is Green, I almost said Green Arrow, Green Lantern. So Green Lantern obviously was not done in the 70s as like Flash, but was done for this. And so that's why I think he should be here since he's in this group. Um, yeah, I'm glad they did it. I would have preferred, honestly, since I prefer Green Arrow, that Green Arrow be in this first batch, and then they have one new one in this batch and one new one in the next batch, which maybe they are, but I don't know. I can't remember what all's being done. I think the some of the foes, super foes like Penguin, Riddler, Joker, are going to be in the next batch or lot or group. So yeah, they did a good job on him, and they tried to do him and Flash in '70s style, like that might have been done had they been done in the '70s, just like the others. But yeah, so I love again the. Of course, it makes sense. His box is green, and the art is just amazing. I'm sure some of you know who did the artwork. I mean, it's probably just from old original, so it's not. I don't believe it's new art, but whoever did it, whenever they did it, it's really well done, and it just the boxes just pop. And I didn't think it would make that much of a difference to get it like Flash in a on a card or in a box, but it did. I mean, the boxes just I love them. I just I don't know why there's such a difference, but I really like them. And the bodies are sturdier now. Sometimes you have to be careful. I'm hearing of people who have easily broken things. By the way, Aquaman's got some muscle there. Let me see if he had that much muscle in the old one. I guess so. Yeah, I just never noticed it. So, it just shows up better. I think, the quality of the fabric is better now, I'm assuming. And the bodies are better. But yes, you have to be careful with them and not, especially when they're new, not break things. I mean, they're not the most bendable in the beginning. I'm assuming if you worked with them over time, they would become more limber. But I'm not worried about that because I'm displaying these just like I do my vintage, but they're in their boxes. Because, I mean, this way I have the vintage ones out of the box and the new ones in the box. And it's like the best of both worlds to me. So, yeah, they've done just an excellent job. So, congratulations, Mego. I am so glad to have these, and even at $20 a pop compared to $3 to $4 in the '70s. I mean, that's not that bad when you look at how prices have gone up in 50 years. So, again, happy 50th anniversary, Mego, and I am so glad to still be a Mego fan after all these years. And everybody, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time on Toy Talk. Take care.